Sup YouTube, it's your boy Makai Barboza here, and today I wanted to dedicate this video to someone very important to me, and his name is Papa Chancha, my grandfather. And the reason why I'm making this video now is because I'm starting to realize every blessing I had, everything I own, the materialistic possessions I have don't matter. The this phone, at the end of the day, yeah, it's a nice camera, has a nice camera, and everything it does everything it needs me to do, I need it to do, and I love it. But this video, the reason why I'm dedicating this video to him, I'm dedicating my YouTube career to him. He passed away last day of August, and up until now, I always brushed it aside. I always thought, yeah, death does its part, but I never took a grieving process. Like, I seen how it affected my mother. I seen how death affects family members and close ones and loved ones. And lately I've been taking my blessings for granted. I've taken loved ones for granted. I've taken I've taken my health for granted. I've taken books for granted. I've taken my life for granted. Every blessing known to man that I can't even name right now, food, I've taken it for granted. We know when we eat our food and we don't want it no more, we just toss it out in the trash. We take that shit for granted. Every blessing we got, we take for granted, and we don't know that we're blessed because we're so caught up with the bad things in life. We neglect the good things. We neglect our health. We neglect our family. We're so busy scrolling on our phones that we don't even take time to. We want to talk. We try to impress people who don't care about us. We're trying to text guys. We're trying to text girls who don't love us. Meanwhile, we got our mothers who literally carried us for 9 months, underwent pain for 9 months, birthed us, went through all that pain. We take that shit for granted. We take our blessings for granted. In this video, my grandfather, peace be upon him, I never really I met him once in person, but I never really got to have a conversation with him. I never really got to tell him how much I love him. He loved me because I'm my mom's only male boy, her only male child. And he was excited when he found out I was going to carry on the last name Barboza. And for that, he entrusted me with his last name. So that's why I'm going to dedicate this YouTube channel. I'm going to dedicate these videos for him. My career, I dedicate to him. I'm going to make sure his death is not going out. His death was for no reason. I'm going to make sure the Barboza last name remains relevant throughout centuries. I've always heard he had Alzheimer's and diabetes, and I've just neglected the fact that I never got to talk to him. I never got the chance to have that conversation with him. I always just brushed it off like, oh, I never met him, I'm never gonna meet him. I always brushed that off, but I've been hiding that pain in for so long. As a man, it's cold as hell out here. No, not as hell, but I'm, constantly, ever since I was 14 and heard he has Alzheimer's, I've always, tried to neglect the pain, be like, yeah, pain is going to come for us all. Death is going to come for us all. But just because that's true doesn't mean it subtracts from the hurt you're gonna feel. I love my grandfather. And if I got to talk to him, if I can have him here right now, I would hug him. I want to get to know him better. Because the only way I can know him is by talking to my aunts, talking to my mom. I see pictures of him, and, I always scroll past it. I always try to look past it. But, you know, he's a hero. He's a true hero. He bestowed upon me his last name just so I can make it relevant. He made sure he secured his legacy within his children. He made sure that he tried his best to raise his children so that his grandchildren hopefully can carry on the last name. And I've been dishonoring my loved ones by lashing out on them, taking my anger out on them. I've hurt people that I didn't mean to hurt emotionally. I took my emotional hurt and placed it on others. Because deep down inside, I never really got to talk to him. Outside of seeing him from the wedding when I was in 2009, I was 5 years old. I never really had a conversation with him. I was always jealous of my sisters, how they would go see him in Cape Verde. But I never got to, see him outside of Zoom calls, outside of video calls. And inside, in my corazon, it hurts. Not having him around anymore. I always thought, I'll see him someday I'll see him, hopefully I'll see him. And now that he's no longer physically here with us, the only time I'm going to see him is in heaven. And grandfather, I know he's with me, he's in my DNA, he's in my blood. Even if he's not here physically, he's with me spiritually, he's with me mentally, he's with me in my heart. And the lessons I have learned from this is never take your loved ones for granted. If you have the chance to speak to your loved ones, speak to your mom, speak to your dad, speak to your relatives, friends, if you get to hang out with them, make sure you let them know. Wait, hold on, let me fix the camera. Let them know that you love them. Let them know how much they mean to you. Let them know that, those are going to be the people who stick with you thick and thin. No one's going to love you more than your family. Him giving me the last name, I got my last name from him. My cousins are named after him. So no matter where I go to my cousins, he's with my cousins. By name. He's with me by my name. And I know if he was here, he would tell me, yo, I don't know what he would tell me, but I hope I'd make him proud by pursuing YouTube and pursue my dreams. And by changing my name, for those of you who've been around long enough, it was Mr. Kayaks Uchiha. I don't think it was Kai X Barboza, but I changed it to Makai X Barboza. Because I realized how he wanted me to carry on the last name. He wants me to carry on the legacy. And legacy is important. If you watch the movie Creed, Adonis Creed, he never met his father. His father, Apollo Creed, died before Adonis Creed was born. He was Adonis Johnson. And when he realized his father's name was Apollo Creed, who his father was, he tried to hide from it. But in that movie, during the end of the movie, he starts to embrace it. At first, he feels like he's forced to use the name Creed. but he realizes his father's legacy is something that is important, something that can't just be extinguished. He has to carry on the legacy, not just for himself, but for his father. And that's why I went through the name changes, and I finally finalized it to using my actual government name. The name Barboza isn't just a last name to me anymore. It's important. It's a legacy I must continue. It's a legacy that I'm going to fulfill. I'm gonna die trying to fulfill the legacy he bestowed upon his grandson, me. Anyways, that's all I gotta have for this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and salam alaikum.